guys! Welcome to Arcane Duels! I'm Koshade.
And I'm Intangible.
And this is the first of the semifinals match that we're bringing you guys. And it's John using his Force Master.
And it's versus, this is Tim, right?
No.
Or no, this is Nick.
This is Nick
This
Hanma.
is Nick or Hanma from the forums.
Using
and,
his, was it the weighted...
The weighted training clothes.
Weighted training, yeah.
I've already started shortening it to the weighted wizard. Yes.
He's not fat. He's different weighted wizard.
No. Just weighs down on you with crushing tempo.
And looks like we are in round 2? No, maybe 3? No, probably round 2.
There's too many crystals, so I would say, well, I don't know. It's supposed to be 2.
And we're going to bring you the rest of this match. This is all the footage we have. And...
They'll miss first couple rounds. I mean, it's a bunch of crystals.
There's been a crystal, Enchanter's Stone for the Force Master out, so any sort of like force fields he casts on himself, I'm guessing are going to be just
that much
harder to get rid of.
Mm-hmm.
And it looks like Hanma has the Gate of Voltari out, and it looks like it has some channeling on it, 2 dice.
So, oh my.
Wonder what that is about.
So if you recall from the forums, he talked about this, and basically the concept of the deck was that he plays during the semifinal, or during all the rounds until the finals, he played one way, and basically it just kind of mana crystalled it up and then just played as he did, and then in the finals and the semifinals is when he really started taking out the Gate to Voltari.
He wanted to play his like more powerful book.
Yeah. That way, anybody he played didn't know exactly how he was going to.
Yeah. So, and an interesting thing about that is the Gate of Voltari. If you're expecting a rush from a wizard, which I don't know, I don't think Hanma ever really rushed anyone.
I don't think so. It's not what his deck is about.
And you play the Gate instead, it can really mess up a lot of the things that you might have planned for.
Absolutely.
And especially thinking that Hanma's not going to use a Gate at all. Versus just a bunch of mana crystals and Hugin or something like that, it changes the way your opening could work. And this is probably working in Hanma's favor a lot.
Absolutely. I mean, he's gained that huge mana advantage with now 4 crystals on the field and the Gate to Voltari versus the Force Masters, the 2 Conjuration it has on the field. I don't know what equipment she might have, but as far as we can tell,
I don't think she has anything yet.
I mean.
Oh wait, did she just cast something?
Has to have something. I see.
He uses the quick cast on something.
Equipment over on the bottom corner.
Yeah, the quick cast is used on something.
I imagine it could be a force ring. It could be some type of mana efficient card. And so right now he's just gonna try to gain that major tempo.
And he's gonna move 2.
And he's just gonna run 2, and that's gonna be.
And wow, so he's getting himself in position there. Interesting.
I guess
he's feeling the pressure of that Gate.
I'm wondering if he's going to go after her. I mean, it makes sense. Unless he's literally running 2 spaces forward because he wants to get within range of the wizard. But if he was going to do that, he would just take center.
Yeah, that's an interesting move. So, it looks like we are skipping ahead a little bit because it looks like there's already enchantment down.
So
it looks like the wizard has already done another mana crystal and now Wizard's Tower.
So now we see the Force Master just surrounded by threats.
Running to that Gate was a very tough move to make, but I'm sure he did it because he thought this is the only way he could win against the Gate opening.
Well, I mean, when you see 4 mana crystals in a Gate...
and he does get the defend. Nice.
Oh, that looks like a 4.
No, I think he rolls 7.
And just moved over the 4.
Yeah.
All right. With 4 mana crystals in it. Nope, he didn't.
Nope, he didn't. All right, never mind.
With that amount of mana efficiency on the board, you often should go aggressive.
Well, I mean, the thing is, like, the Force Master's big worries is oftentimes things like a lot of creatures, and when it comes to the Arcane School, you're dealing with, like, generally not fast, but tougher, bigger creatures.
Mm-hmm.
I think right now the lowest costing creature right now is 7 mana, and that's the Gremlin. Yeah, and that's a lot of mana when it comes to other books.
Yeah,
for a creature.
But with Gate to Voltari, that's not really that much of an issue for it, because it is able to get a lot a mana return.
And let's see. So he got come dazed, down, and
that can be crucial.
I love Hurl Rock. I love any spell that gives a daze or a slam, or some sort of stun, because those are little effects that a lot of people that just like when they first start playing, they just think I need to deal out as much damage as possible. But these little effects are what kind of ekes you towards a win.
Absolutely.
And as showcased by this, it looks like that Daze.
You know, even if whether he's going to
attack.
Yeah, whether he spent mana on this attack or not, the fact is that he's dazed now, and he's looking at it going, well, I did have an attack spell in my hand, but now I don't want to cast it.
Yep,
and
absolutely.
that alone is worth it.
It's
whether
like having
he succeeded
It's
or
like
not.
having a different type of defense. Instead of like reflex boots or something, you have, I give you
It's the
dazes.
offensive defense,
Yeah,
the one that,
You know, a lot of people don't give the holy attack spells credit, but, you know, they have, like, a decent, like, I think it's a 5-up chance to daze. That's pretty damn good.
Yeah.
And if you use it not in terms of, like, an attack spell, but use it in terms of, like, I'm using this to manipulate your attacks, I think that's where, like, the holy attack spells really are useful, is that status effect there.
They're very good for their lockdown. They're also, I mean, they're not going to deal a lot of damage. Their stun chance is also much lower than lightning.
Yeah.
But if you really want to go lockdown, they're very good. It's very good to throw a couple, especially if you're a holy mage, throw a couple of things in that have a good chance to daze, because in cases like this against the Force Master, that can really turn the game around.
Oh, yeah. And I mean, you know, that's a whole action used by the Force Master not doing anything. And I think they need to remove that daze condition off the Force Master, but
yeah, it should be gone by now.
I'm not sure what they're discussing, because it's not the end of the round, but
There is some major discussion going on.
all right, so it looks like we are rolling for the double strike. Is that it?
I think it's the double strike. That would explain why he rolled twice on the effect die to see what he's going to pull off. And so there's a question on the mana amount on the Gate to Voltari. And what is he going to... He's either going to guard... Yep, he's going to guard with the Gargoyle
Smart
to
choice
protect
for that
the Gate to
Gargoyle.
Voltari. Oh, you know what? One of those markers is damage and one is mana.
Ah, okay. Okay, so what's really interesting right now is there's an Enchantress Wardstone down, and I don't necessarily see any enchantments from the Force Master. I don't know if it's off camera, but I'm kind of curious to...
There has to be, man. I mean, look at how much the wizard has on the field. There's no way that the Force Master has been doing nothing with those actions.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I guess that's something that I wish I could commentate on, but I'm sure that the Force Master has, well, usually the enchantments would go... Maybe he just has a lot of equipment and hasn't got around to the enchantments yet.
Well, I mean, he spent a turn running.
Mm-hmm.
He spent a turn with a daze on, and he missed. And so that's 2 turns, and we're in round 4. And he has the crystal and the Enchantress Wardstone down.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's... Yeah, I mean, I guess if you look at it that way, he just doesn't have enough, enough
We know
objects
he has some
on
sort
the
of
field
equipment down right now.
Yeah. And if that was a double strike like we anticipated... Oh, Hugin.
It looks like Hugin goes down the field. A really interesting familiar. You know, a lot of familiars like Hugin or Philella, they have that low hit points but high dodge chance.
Mm-hmm.
And those are always one of those like cards that that is worth putting in that flame blast.
The Flame Blast or the Arc Lightning.
Or the Arc Lightning, yeah.
Flame Blast is pretty popular. I usually like to run like one of those or something similar just to take out... Because like one will usually be enough to take out Hugin.
He doesn't have that much life.
No.
And, you know, another popular method if you go for more creatures is just use Knockdown.
Absolutely.
It's a very
Just
classic
knock
spell,
down and
you
just
know what
kind
I
of
mean?
hit it with melee. Knockdown's pretty good. One of my favorite cards in the
Did
game.
he kill the gate?
Looks like he got to it.
Okay, so what he must have done,
So-
he must have force hammered it.
That would
That was
explain
what
it.
happened.
And so, yeah, that was probably a lot of mana and definitely a lot of actions out of the way. So now...
And killing that gate, so it looks like it's really early in the game, too. He got 2 creatures out of it, so did the gate pay for itself? Probably. You know?
There's a good chance that it did. And if not, at least in actions.
Yeah. And if you look at the channeling, Hanma just has so much more mana right now, even though they both started out at 10. So he's going to be able to do a ton of stuff. And John's really big thing that he needs to do right here is just eliminate the big threats. When it comes to Wizard, in my opinion, taking out those Wizard's towers or sidestepping them is one of the most important things you could do.
Whether it's removing it or removing yourself from this situation, you want to get some nice board control down so you can actually you can actually take it out.
Exactly,
whether it makes it just obviate it in general, because if you just let it have its way, like a lot of other cards, if you let it have its way, it's going to crush you.
It's going to work.
It's like having a gold rod on you and you going, I'll get to it in a couple rounds, and then all of a sudden you're like half dead.
Exactly. Oh wow, Hanma's rolling really well here.
That is a heck of a roll there.
I think it's going to be another days on the Force Master. That is going to get some problems for him. Really interesting. I wonder if he's out of mana and that's why he didn't choose to defend against it.
That is a good question.
Oh yeah, so we see the Mongoose Agility, so I'm guessing he just sidestepped that gargoyle and just...
I mean, I wonder if Hanma has so much mana that he was actually worried about a bigger attack spell.
That would make sense.
Holy cow! Well, I mean...
Just roll 5? So he had another...
No, he rolled 5 dice.
Yeah, I'm guessing he had another hurl rock. Or he just tested it. I don't know.
I'm not really sure.
Okay, well, I mean, he just took damage from that, so... Cool.
Heck of a roll, man.
Heck of a roll.
So right now, the question is, of
course, to bring it out of gate, too, that takes heck of a roll, too.
So now that he's done with the gate, the question is, what is the biggest threat here? A lot of people would obviously say the Wizard's Tower. I actually personally feel like a combination of the Gargoyle and Hugin are a huge issue, because
you can take out Hugin
easily, and if you don't, though, it's going to make sure that you can never get away from the tower or the wizard.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah.
You can't get away from him because he's gonna get free teleports off of you. It's harsh.
It is very harsh. Those unavoidable attacks, man, they are so important.
They really are.
They just came out with a new card, Blur. Actually, if I remember right, they're passing out the promos or whatever. Mm-hmm. I don't think it's not official, but it's a new promo card.
It's still a promo, but
that card has some very interesting reactions against ranged attacks. And right now we have the Cloak of Shadows, and that makes everything obscured. But Blur makes everything obscured
as well. But it has that contingency, but it's cheaper.
It makes you obscured or a creature. And it's two mana for the enchantment and 0 to reveal. And every time you get hit, you have to pay 1 mana to keep Blur active. So it's one of those, it's really cheap, and then by the time you're in a situation where you probably don't need Blur anymore,
you don't have to pay the cost.
You just get rid of it.
Let it go.
Really interesting.
I think that it's so... I personally feel like that card, if used correctly, could be more powerful than Cloak of Shadows, and then...
Oh, well, it's cheaper.
Yeah, it's cheaper, and there goes one of the huge advantages that Dark Mages had.
Well, light minus 2.
I'm not saying that they actually really needed it anymore.
Light minus 2.
Oh, light minus 2. I always forget about that. I guess if you're playing an aggressive warlock or something, going back to the conversation we had before, you don't want to get dazed, so...
It's a 7-up chance, I think.
That's still pretty good.
I don't think anyone has taken the cloak for the light minus 2.
Once PVS comes out, there will be a reconsideration because we might see some good attacks.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely.
Holy class.
I would look forward to that.
I'm actually just looking forward to a lot of attack spells coming out because that's definitely my favorite type of card. Because the irony,
Master, you have all that, yeah.
Well, it's just the irony of attack spells is that they are the most versatile card in the game because every other card generally has one effect. It does one thing, but attack spells can do 3 to 4.
They can do a lot of little things. They're high investments and high risk, high reward kind of cards.
Absolutely, and that's just my kind of thing.
Yeah. All right, so moving on, it looks like the Force Master choosing to retreat a little bit. I'm kind of curious if he's trying to get out of the Wizard's Tower range, maybe?
I could expect it.
Because he was dazed?
Yeah. So, ooh.
And that's game.
That is the final roll.
We have been seeing John's Force Master rolls. Just taking 8.
Yeah, just
and
a pummel.
It looked like it was Hanma's
roll.
Looks like it was Hanma's initiative. And he just said probably
just going to finish this.
He was just I'm just going to do this to see if it works,
Yeah.
I think the next one's coming out is Tim versus House, and then the finals.
Yep, sounds right.
Thank you, guys.
See you.